It's What the Wednesday, and this week a parent asks, why is it that my child uses such negative language when they speak? So I asked for a bit more detail so that I can understand what's going on. Turns out that the child has been using the word boring for a lot of different things. To give you a little context, the child is a little girl about 7 years old, and she uses this when it's something that she doesn't want to do, or some kind of a chore, or something that's new and making her feel uncomfortable. So I wanted this parent to dig a little deeper, and I would like you to think about this too. Words are important, and yes, they have meaning. And here we're going to talk about the exception. Sometimes, as parents, we take our children's words as literal. We believe them. We believe that they know that they're using the words correctly. I would like you to stop doing that. And the reason for this is the following. Once our children start to learn words and speak back to us, for some reason, as human beings, we assume that they are using the words in the correct context. As we've seen in this particular case, actually the child isn't using the right word in the right context. She's using the word boring, which at some point has been shown to her as a negative word. So what she's done is she's generalized it and is using it in other circumstances. As parents, I would like you to take less credence in the literal meaning behind words. If your child responds to something in a negative fashion, in a word that possibly sparks something negative in you, sometimes we can get triggered by our children, take a second and double check. Do they even know what that word means? Now again, how we ask them, very important. So if your child says, I don't want to do that, it's boring, I don't want to go to this restaurant, or I don't want to try this food, it's boring. Clearly, in this particular case, boring is not how we describe food, usually. So then my question to myself, and then what I would invite you to ask yourself too, is, okay, clearly the child doesn't want to try this food. Other than the word boring, what's behind it? I need to understand as the parent what's going on behind it, and ideally introduce them to the word that they could be using instead. So in an example of child not wanting to try something new and using the word boring, I can say something like, I see that you're not interested in trying this food. Can you tell me more? And they could say it doesn't look good, it doesn't whatever, and then you can correct them at a different time. So later on in the evening, if the whole family is sitting together, you can maybe pull out a dictionary and say, today you used a pretty big word. I would love to look up what that means in the dictionary. And I love physical dictionaries for this one because it's a lot of fun and it is really a lost art and a very important skill for our children. So go to the dictionary and look it up as a family and try to make up words and sentences that do use the word in the right context. So again, if you're hearing words from your children, before you get triggered, if you can just catch yourself in that millisecond, before you react, think, do they even know what that word means? Are they using it in the correct context? Let me just check.